So, being a teenager is the time when changes, discovery, friends, rapid changes, and emotional highs and lows happen. When we talk about brain development, we always think that when we are a child, like around 0 to 5 years old, it's the time when brain development is the most crucial. But scientists point out that when we are an adolescent, around like 13 to 19 years old, brain development is relatively important too. When we are a child, our brain grows and generates gray matter until the maximum size. And when it reaches the maximum size, girls are around like 12 years old and boys are around 14. And at the same time, the brain cuts away unused gray matter that isn't exercised by experience to be more efficient. The brain increased myelin, which is a kind of chemical that insulates brain's pathways. And when it comes to puberty, it begins in the hypothalamus, which is a part of the brain. And a protein, which is called kisspeptin, is produced, triggering the pituitary gland to release. So these are the three chemicals. These are three chemicals that the brain released. And it activates ovaries and testes and causes teens to seek emotionally charged experience, like when watching a sad movie or driving rapidly. And so our response to emotionally loaded images and sounds can be intense. So prefrontal cortex is a part of the brain, and in this part, the area to assess risk or planning ahead is immature. So this is why teens participate in highly risked behaviors. And in a simulated drive test, teens who drive alone take the same percent of risks as adults. But when teens are with friends, they take higher risks than adults. And so it leads to peer acceptance because peer acceptance is a crucial part of teenagers' lives, and they often feel socially isolated, and it creates the feeling of intent unworthiness. And so teens often value friends over family. But the good part of it is that teens can step outside the comfort zone of the family, and it creates genetically diverse populations and diminish the likeness of inbreeding. So, also, teens own heightened social abilities, like processing and evaluating facial expressions and be more cognizant of friends' joy, sadness, or stress. And so, when it comes to stress, the hormones the hormones that people release when stressing out, it can help kids and adults, but it has an opposite effect on teenagers. And so it leads to increased anxiety for teenagers. And paired up with the change in circadian rhythms, teenagers tend to sleep 3 to 4 more hours than adults. That is why people always think that teenagers are emotionally moody. And so, last but not least, when it comes to physical changes, there are like many good parts for teenagers. Like they can be healthy, their immune system is highly functioning, and their tolerance increases when it comes to high temperature changes, and they have high resistance in cancer. Somehow their death rate increases to 200 to 300% because of motor vehicle accidents, homicide, and suicide. And scientists often blame the white and gray matter inside the brain because it can lead to increased risk of errors. And with synaptic connections and increased plasticity, teens are primed to learn quickly, memorize content fast, respond easily to environments, and make incredible strides in communication and socialization. So, as a conclusion, it is crucial to be passionate And taking risks is sometimes important because it can change yours and others' lives.